We get to the shift pod, right? We know there's no AC. We know we have to address this whole thing. What I will say about the AC is it was the hottest that first day, because when you got to the shift pod, all the windows and doors were closed. So we opened them, we stepped inside, and we were like, holy shit, this is brutal. This is going to be so bad. Like, I can't believe they didn't give us the AC units they promised, blah, blah, blah. So we opened all the doors, all the windows, started to let it air out. We put our stuff in there and kind of like went back to the car, took our second trip, got on with our day. And then we went to the Mesa to do all the pool parties. So we weren't really in the shift pod for a lot of the day. The way they handled the AC situation is what's the most frustrating, because the biggest critique I will give Insomniac is, if they're listening, is like communication. People would have been, I'm sure, still upset, but less pissed if you had told us, hey, we made this decision, we're anticipating cooler weather, so we're going to remove the AC units. They didn't tell us that ahead of time. They quietly made that decision and then pulled it off of the website as an amenity. So naturally, we're pissed off because we paid money for a specific amenity, and then we show up to our tent and it's brutally fucking hot, and we're just wondering, how are we going to sleep in these tents? Not only that, but we get this text message at 1:30 in the morning around. We were at the party, the pre-party, and Dom Dolla's set, and we all of a sudden get they send out like blasts, like different text blasts. And we basically get this text message being like, we hear your frustration, like you can request a refund, but if you don't like it, like you can leave, essentially is what the text message was in the middle of the night. Like, who the fuck is leaving in the middle of the night? Where are we going to go? We already paid all of this stuff. So that was like a little frustrating, their response to everything. But what I will say, just to like nip this in the bud, it wasn't as bad, in my opinion, as people were saying it was. Like, the first night and the second night were hot during the day. So what we did is we opened all our windows and we opened the door, and then you could either close the door fully, or they had like this mesh lining that you could close. So like it still like let air go through. We were fine the rest of the weekend. We slept. I took a nap one afternoon in there. As long as everything was open, I was okay. Were there people sleeping outside their tents on beds and stuff like that? Yes. And that was like totally your prerogative if you wanted to do that. Some people were napping outside during the day outside their tent. Like, you felt safe. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like, it was okay if you wanted to do that. People were doing whatever the fuck they wanted. So I think it wasn't like a game, like it wasn't like a breaking decision for me. Like, we got used to it and we were fine. So, hopefully they just handle that better in the future. I'll move on from that.